Hey everyone, welcome back to Husband and Wife Outdoor Life. Today, in our Isle Royale how-to series, we're going to be discussing where to stay on the island. There are three main ways to stay overnight in Isle Royale. The first is the Rock Harbor Lodge and Housekeeping Cottages. As the name implies, these are located on the Rock Harbor end of the island. On the opposite end of the island are the Windigo camper cabins. Both of these require advanced and early reservations. These can fill up quickly, so the more proactive you are, the better. These allow you to sleep in a real bed and have a sort of base camp, but then have a bunch of day hiking and outdoor activity options available. Since we haven't stayed in these before, we will put links below in the description with further information. For the more adventurous, backcountry camping is the #1 way to stay overnight on the island. There are 36 campgrounds located throughout the island. They are only accessible by foot or watercraft. Matt and I have stayed at 9 of these campgrounds, some more than once. Some have just tent sites, and others have shelters as well. Some may even offer picnic tables. So make sure you check out the regulations regarding stay limits at certain campgrounds, as some may have a maximum stay of only 1 night. Permits are required for all overnight stays, regardless of your group size or method of travel to the island. In addition, your permit must be displayed on your pack while hiking and on your tent or shelter while at camp. Dispersed camping is only allowed in certain zones with a specific permit obtained at the start of your trip. Designated campsites, including both tent sites and shelters, are first come, first served for parties of 6 or fewer. Groups of 7 to 10 must have advanced reservations and stay at designated group sites. If a campground happens to be full, you can choose to move on to another campground or ask someone on a tent site if they would like to double up. You are not allowed to camp beyond the designated site boundaries, and tents should not be set up on shelter site. You may, however, set your tent up on the inside of a shelter. If you are a hammock camper, it's important to note that the park does not allow hammocks at shelter sites. They may be used at designated tent sites if durable trees are present. You may not expand your site past the boundary line to find a suitable tree. A recent Facebook post from the Isle Royale National Park page said, "Please don't rely on hammocks for all your camping needs." This is not to say that you cannot use a hammock on the island, but it is strongly discouraged by the park. Fires are not allowed at most campgrounds. For those in which they are allowed, you may not build your own fire pit. You must use the designated grates or grills. Only dead and down wood should be used, so leave that axe and saw at home. For more information on which campgrounds do allow fires, see the chart in the Greenstone newsletter. Out of respect for wildlife and other campers, quiet hours should be observed from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. Also, prohibited items include fireworks, radios tuned to commercial stations, drones, and wheeled canoe portaging devices. Rock Harbor and Windigo are the only locations with potable water. All other locations require boiling or filtering with a 0.4 or finer micron filter. Steri pens are not considered effective. On both of our trips, we used a Sawyer Squeeze filter. Also important to note, water can be limited on the trail, especially up on the ridges, but most campsites, except for Island Mind, have access to Lake Superior or an inland lake. All campgrounds have outhouses, but they are not guaranteed to have toilet paper, so please remember to bring your own. Campgrounds are in a wilderness area, and therefore you should practice proper food storage. Squirrels will scream at you and foxes will steal shoes, so understand that it's their house and you are just borrowing it. There is no cell service, so come prepared. Hopefully you guys found this helpful when planning your itineraries on the island. Let us know in the comments below where your favorite places to stay are. And if you have any questions you want addressed in this series, please let us know. As always, thank you for watching and stay tuned for our next adventure.